Meanwhile, the Clinton campaign is attacking the FBI for what it believes is a clear double standard. The campaign says that it is unfair for Director James Comey to resurrect the email investigation so close to the election, now just 7 days away, while he and the organization stay silent about a reported investigation into Donald Trump's alleged ties to Russia. All of this comes as a new national poll out today shows this. Donald Trump with a 1-point lead over Hillary Clinton. This suggests the closest this race has been in a month. To discuss it all, Chairman of the House Democratic Caucus, Representative Xavier Becerra, joins us now. He's defended Hillary Clinton throughout the email controversy and remains a staunch surrogate of the secretary. And Congressman, we very much appreciate your time. I do want to ask you about Director Comey. He took a lot of heat in the summer from Republicans when he ruled that Hillary Clinton shouldn't be charged as a result of the investigation into her use of a private server. Those Republicans perhaps lauding the most recent actions by the director as he sent this letter to Congress just last week. Quite simply, do you believe that Director Comey put a thumb on the scale here?
I do. He has the right to try to finish an investigation and report it as he sees it. That's what the FBI has been known for, at least recently has become known for reporting the facts as they are, just the facts. Unfortunately, what he did, both early on when he went into detail about the Clinton investigation, and now just recently when he started talking about this new information about some new emails, is he went beyond just completing an investigation. He went into critiquing what was going on, and that goes way beyond the scope of any FBI director, and that's why he's in trouble, because he did something unprecedented and he was out of line in starting to talk about something so close to an election when he knows it could have an effect on an election.
Now, the White House said yesterday that it believes James Comey was in a tough spot, but you are again saying in placing a thumb on the scale that there was some personal political motivation. What motivation do you believe the director has here?
Well, first, I agree that he's in a tough spot. Let's both agree to that. It's not an easy job, and that's why he got it, because he's supposed to be skilled and have the experience to handle it well. But when he got out there and started talking about information that he had not even seen himself 10 days before an election, that's very touchy, and especially since it's now becoming clear that there may actually be an FBI investigation of Russian involvement in hacking, criminal hacking and espionage, and that there may be some ties to the Trump campaign. And for Director Comey to talk only about one potential investigation without talking about the other so close to an investigation, it makes it look like he is trying to put his thumb on the scale. Whether he is or not, that's up to him to clarify. And I think most of us have said, come out, explain yourself, because what you've done is unprecedented and it seems out of line.
There has been bipartisan support for that, belief that there is not enough information now that has been shared. Do you see that changing in the next 7 days?
No, I think because everyone agrees that the director of the FBI is not supposed to be a politician. He's also not supposed to be someone who leaks out information about a ongoing or potentially new investigation. Typically, the FBI is, Sergeant Friday, just the facts, ma'am. And in this case, Director Comey went way beyond. Now, again, Secretary Clinton has said it. She's confident that nothing is going to come of this new information of emails from Anthony Weiner's computer that have nothing to do with Hillary Clinton. But the fact remains, in the minds of some people, maybe it would. And unfortunately, 10 days before an election, that could have an impact. She's going to move forward. All of us are going to redouble our efforts because we believe that the FBI came through with a good investigation early on and a good conclusion. Now it's time to get to an election. So we're all going to work very hard to do what we think is best, and that is have a free and fair election. Hopefully, Director Comey will explain himself between now and Election Day so he doesn't become the story. And if, in fact, we find out that there is a Trump investigation going on by the FBI, then I think at that point, Director Comey is going to face a decision of whether he needs to step down.
Congressman, trustworthiness has been perhaps Hillary Clinton's biggest issue as a political candidate. Clearly, this controversy has not helped. You have said of the secretary, and I quote, "I know with whom I walk because Hillary Clinton has walked with us for a long time." Without making Hispanic voters some sort of monolithic block here, what impact do you see this having on the election?
Well, and you're right. Latinos aren't one monolithic group. They vote in different ways. but I do believe that they have come together to support Hillary Clinton because of all that she has done within the Latino community over many, many years, well before she ever decided to run for president. And at the same time, it's become clear that Donald Trump not only rejects Latinos, but he insults Latinos. He says things that are derogatory, racist, in fact. And so I think the choice is very clear for Latinos, and they could become the decisive vote in some of these battleground states, and therefore perhaps the decisive vote in this election. I think by a wide margin, perhaps even wider than Barack Obama saw. You will see Latinos voting for Hillary Clinton because she does walk with us.
And yet she will, if she wins, Congressman, seemingly be embroiled in this controversy. This scandal will follow her as president-elect come November 9th. What more do you feel Hillary Clinton has to do as a way to combat this perception by a majority of the likely voters that she is simply not to be trusted?
Yeah, so two things there, because it's a great question, Judge. One, you know, everyone has always tried to, a lot of these folks on the far right have tried to knock Hillary Clinton down for decades. She always gets back up. She dusts herself off and she fights for people. That's how she got funding for children and health care taken care of for 8 million kids. That's how she was able to make sure that we got the Osama bin Laden, because she was one of those who advised the president to go in and do that raid against Osama bin Laden. She was the one that brought the group of international players together to make sure Iran did not continue with its nuclear proliferation. And so she's tough. She gets back up. And so I have no doubt that whatever Republicans try to throw at her, she's going to be ready. But what she will want to do with the American electorate is talk to them directly, because you're right, Republicans have tried to scar her, and she needs to get out there as often as she can, because once you get one-on-one with Secretary Clinton, hopefully future President Clinton, people recognize who she is and how tough a fighter she is for them. And so I feel very confident, and that's why between now and November 8th, many of us are going to redouble our efforts, because we know what a tough fighter she is, and we need a tough fighter in the Oval Office.
Congressman, I'll get you out of here on this one. Donald Trump's initial response to the letter that Director Comey sent to Congress last week was to say that perhaps the election process was a little less rigged. What have you made of this particular bit of rhetoric from him?
Josh, you're asking me to do something impossible, to read Donald Trump's mind, because from one minute to the next, it changes. I will tell you this. Director Comey, in his own letter to his agency personnel, said, I know this could create a misleading impression of what's going on out there with the emails. And in fact, he's absolutely right. Earth to Director Comey, you left a misleading impression 10 days before an election. You got to clean up the mess you created. And so hopefully Director Comey will have some clarifying words. I won't ever try to guess what Donald Trump is trying to say.
Congressman Xavier Becerra, we very much appreciate your time today.
Thank you.